say to Moses, now the physical descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I want you to gather, and I want them to stand on one side of the mountain. In the mixed multitude, the non-physical descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I want you to have them stand on the other side of the mountain, because I have certain commandments for the physical descendants. But if you're not a physical descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I'm going to make life a little bit easier for you. I'm only going to give them 2 commandments. That is, they're supposed to love me and love everyone else. Is that what happened? No. It says in Numbers chapter 15, verses 15 and 16, one ordinance shall be both for you of the congregation and also for the stranger that sojourns with you, an ordinance forever, which begs the question, how long is forever? I believe forever is forever. But you know what I was taught in traditional Christianity? Forever here meant until Jesus died on the cross, and that's when forever stopped. Because then we go on to a different plan, plan B. But here it says that one ordinance shall be for you of the congregation and also for the stranger that sojourns with you, an ordinance forever in your generations. As you are, so shall be the stranger before the Lord. One law, one Torah, and one manner shall be for you and for the stranger that sojourns with you. So does a Jewish believer in Messiah have a different set of commandments that they are to follow in being obedient to Yeshua's Messiah than a non-Jewish believer? That's taught. And you know what's taught in quote-unquote Gentile Christian churches? That we express our faith in the God of Israel differently than the Jews because we're not Jews. Now let's see how the God of Israel redeemed the house of Jacob. And I'm going to show you that He did it by, they were saved by grace through faith. Exodus chapter 3, verses 20 and 21. I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all my wonders, which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that He will let you go. And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. You know what favor is? Grace. And it will come to pass that when you go, you will not go empty. So what was the faith that it required? It was putting the blood of the Lamb upon the doorpost. So even though the God of Israel was willing to redeem all physical descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, every household that lived in Egypt, He was willing to do it by His grace. You know they all didn't get redeemed? Because it required faith. What was the faith? You had to put the blood of the Lamb upon the doorpost. Exodus chapter 12, verse 3 and verse 7. Speak unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the 2 side posts and on the upper doorposts of the houses wherein they shall eat it. So I want you to see that it was the house of Jacob who was saved by grace through faith. Therefore, being saved by grace through faith is a Torah concept. It's how the God of Israel redeemed His people from Egypt. It is not a brand new New Testament concept. So therefore, in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8, when it says, for by grace are you saved through faith, and it's not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, it's only repeating of what the Torah describes how the God of Israel saves His people. It's affirming what the Torah says. Now, I want you to notice that the house of Jacob, who was saved by grace through faith, that the house of Jacob was saved by faith, then they came to Mount Sinai and were given commandments on how they were to live their lives as a saved or a redeemed people. First, they put the blood of the Lamb upon the doorpost. Then they came to Mount Sinai. And so, in John chapter 14, verse 15, Yeshua or Jesus said, if you love me, keep my commandments. Now, let's assume for a moment that my name is Moses, and I'm coming down from the mountain, and I'm telling you, the people of the God of Israel, I have commandments for you from the God of Israel. Does anyone not understand what commandments that Moses is bringing? It's the Torah, it's the law, right? Yet, if one greater than Moses, that is the Messiah, if He comes and He says, keep my commandments, you know what the people say? Commandments, commandments. What commandments? I'm supposed to keep commandments? I don't know what you're talking about. Let's study the Bible and see what that means. You know what? I think it means you're supposed to love everybody. I think those are the commandments. Now, when Yeshua said, if you love me, keep my commandments, he was making a reference or allusion to Exodus chapter 20, verse 6, the chapter that tells us about the giving of the Ten Commandments, wherein in Exodus chapter 20, verse 6, it says, I show mercy. You know what mercy is? It's grace. I show mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. You see, when Yeshua said, if you love me, keep my commandments, not only was he making an allusion to Exodus chapter 20, verse 6, but he's also stating when he's saying those words that he's the lawgiver. He is the one that gave the Torah at Mount Sinai, which, by the way, I'll give you a scripture verse in the New Testament that says he is the lawgiver. James chapter 4, verse 12 says, there is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Is Moses able to save? No. But Yeshua is able to save. He's the one lawgiver. And so it is the Father who willed the law to be given, but the one who was sent to deliver it and who spoke to Moses is Yeshua the Messiah, because in the volume of the book it is written of him. And so he says, if you love me, keep my commandments. The house of Jacob was divided into two kingdoms, known as the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. It's very important for us to realize that it was Jacob whose name was changed to Israel. It was not Judah's name that was changed to Israel. Because often when we use the word Israel in our minds, we are synonymously referring to Jews. But it was not Judah whose name was changed to Israel. It was Jacob whose name was changed to Israel. Therefore, all those of the house of Jacob are Israelites. Therefore, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom are Israelites. But the southern kingdom, whose leading tribe is the tribe of Judah, they referred to themselves, or they became known as Jews. So, therefore, we have the southern kingdom, who are Jews. They're known as the house of Judah. The northern kingdom, they're Israelites because they're of the house of Jacob. In the Bible, they're referred to as the house of Israel, Ephraim, the house of Joseph, and Samaria because the capital is in Samaria. All Jews are a part of the house of Jacob. The southern kingdom is 100% of the house of Jacob. So all Jews, those of the southern kingdom, are Israelites because they're of the house of Jacob. However, not all the house of Jacob is Jewish, because the northern kingdom is from Jacob, so they're Israelites, but they're not Jews because the northern kingdom is separate from the southern kingdom in their distinction. The northern kingdom was taken captive by the Assyrians. We find this in 2 Kings chapter 15, verse 29, when Pekah, king of Israel, came. In his days, Pekah, king of Israel, came Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, and he took various cities. And I want you to notice among the cities that was taken, Gilead and Galilee, all the land of Naphtali, and carried them captive to Assyria. So it was the Galilee area that was first taken captive. Well, if Yeshua is going to restore what was broken, the exile, you got to come back to the place of the break. So his ministry is centered in the Galilee because that's where the northern kingdom was first taken captivity from. So the southern kingdom was taken captive by the Babylonians and King Nebuchadnezzar, as we find in 2 Kings 24, verse 10 and verse 15. Now let's focus on the northern kingdom, because the northern kingdom is very significant in understanding why Yeshua died on the tree and the ultimate ingathering of the exiles and the reunification of northern kingdom and southern kingdom. So in focusing on the northern kingdom, we're told in 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 28 and 29, that Jeroboam set up what's called a golden calf system of worship, wherein the king took counsel and he made 2 calves of gold and said, "It's too much for you to go to Jerusalem. Behold your gods, O Israel, which brought you up out of the land of Egypt." And he set the one in Bethel, and the other he put in Dan. So in referring to this as 2 calves of gold, it's making an allusion back to what happened when the God of Israel brought the children of Israel out of Egypt and they set up a golden calf. They're saying that this is a golden calf system of worship. The book of Hosea is devoted and dedicated and prophesies to the northern kingdom. It prophesies of their judgment and of their restoration and redemption. And this is all personified in a marriage that took place between Hosea and Gomer, as we're told in Hosea chapter 1 and verse 3. There are 3 children from this marriage that are mentioned by name in Hosea chapter 1. The first child is mentioned in Hosea chapter 1 verse 4, which is Jezreel, which means God will sow or God will scatter. The judgment of the northern kingdom is that it would be scattered into the nations of the world. And the second child found in Hosea chapter 1 verse 6 is Lo Ruhama. Lo in Hebrew means not. Ruhama means mercy. So the second child was named No Mercy. The third child in Hosea chapter 1 verse 9 is named Lo Ami. Lo in Hebrew is not. Am is people. Ami is my people. So the name of the third child is Not My People. I'd like to submit to you that when the God of Israel proclaims judgment upon his people and he says, I'm not going to show you mercy and you're not my people, those are not good words to hear. However, the God of Israel, in giving the condemnation, he ends with a promise of hope and restoration. And it's found in Hosea chapter 1 verse 10. Yet, even though no mercy, not my people, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it will come to pass in the place where it was said on them, you are not my people. Where is it said you are not my people? Right here in their judgment. That it will be said unto you, you are the sons of the living God. Who is the son of the living God? It is a believer in Yeshua as the Messiah. As we can see in John chapter 1 verse 12. As many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name. So the prophecy to the northern kingdom is that they would believe that Yeshua is the Messiah. That's why Yeshua said in John chapter 10 verse 16, other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, and they will hear my voice. After the northern kingdom receives me as the Messiah, then in the fullness of time, there'll be one fold and one shepherd. And that prophecy gets fulfilled at the second coming of Yeshua. Hosea chapter 2 verse 23, it says, I will sow her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy, and I will say to them which were not my people, you are my people, and they will say, you are my God. Now the book